Humans are the only creatures who ask why. Why am I here? Why does this matter? Why does anything exist at all? Other organisms survive. Humans require meaning. They do not merely want to live. They want their existence to signify something. And yet, the deeper they search for meaning, the more fragile it appears. This is the problem with meaning. The more desperately it is needed, the less stable it becomes. From early childhood, humans are taught that life has purpose. Work hard, become something, contribute, be remembered. Meaning is presented as a destination, an achievement, a discovery waiting somewhere in the distance. But meaning is not an object in the universe. It cannot be located under a microscope. It has no physical weight, no measurable shape. It exists only within interpretation, and interpretation is unstable. Consider this. If humanity disappeared tomorrow, would meaning remain? Stars would still burn. Oceans would still move. Galaxies would continue expanding. The universe would not pause. It would not mourn. It would not notice. Meaning appears to exist only where consciousness interprets events. Remove the interpreter, and meaning dissolves. This creates a quiet tension. If meaning depends entirely on perception, is it discovered or invented? Humans construct meaning constantly. A career becomes purpose, a relationship becomes destiny, a belief becomes ultimate truth. But what feels permanent today often feels arbitrary years later. Values shift, goals change, identities dissolve, meaning evolves with context, which suggests something unsettling. It is not fixed, it is assigned, and what is assigned can be withdrawn. The human mind struggles with randomness. Events without narrative create discomfort, so the brain searches for patterns, for lessons, for reasons. If suffering occurs, there must be growth. If loss happens, there must be purpose. If existence exists, there must be intention. But intention implies design, and design implies a designer. Remove the assumption of design, and meaning becomes optional, contingent, fragile. The problem with meaning is not that it is impossible, it is that it requires belief. Humans claim they want truth. But if the universe is indifferent, if existence has no inherent narrative, if life is an emergent accident of physics, then meaning is not embedded in reality, it is projected onto it. This realization destabilizes. Because humans do not merely want subjective meaning, they want objective meaning, something undeniable, something written into the fabric of existence. But the fabric appears silent, and silence can feel like absence. When confronted with the possibility that meaning is constructed, humans react in predictable ways. Some retreat into certainty, religious frameworks, ideological systems, rigid identities. Others embrace nihilism. If nothing has meaning, nothing matters. But both responses may misunderstand the situation. The absence of inherent meaning does not eliminate experience. Joy still feels like joy. Pain still feels like pain. Love still alters perception. Subjective experience remains real, even if it is not cosmically validated. Perhaps the true issue is expectation. Humans expect meaning to be external, given, guaranteed. But what if meaning was never meant to be found? What if it was meant to be created? Not as deception, but as participation. A universe without imposed purpose may not be empty. It may be open. Open systems allow input. Closed systems dictate outcomes. In a predetermined narrative, your role is fixed. In an indifferent universe, your interpretation matters. Because without you, there is no interpretation at all. Consider the alternative. If the universe had a singular, objective purpose, and it was revealed to you, your freedom would shrink. Your path would narrow, deviation would become error. But in the absence of predetermined meaning, possibility expands. You are not fulfilling a cosmic script. You are composing within constraint, not infinite freedom, but interpretive freedom. Meaning becomes less like treasure buried in reality, and more like language spoken by consciousness. It does not exist without a speaker. But that does not make it false. It makes it relational. The problem with meaning may not be that it is fragile. It may be that humans demand it to be permanent. But permanence is rare. Stars collapse. Species vanish. Memories fade. Impermanence does not erase value, it intensifies it. A temporary experience is not meaningless, it is limited, and limitation creates significance. A moment matters because it ends. If meaning is not embedded in the universe, but emerges through awareness. If existence does not arrive with instructions, if purpose is not discovered but constructed, then the question changes. Not, what is the meaning of life? But, what will you allow to matter? And if meaning exists only where consciousness assigns it, then meaning is not absent. It is waiting. Waiting for interpretation. Waiting for engagement. Waiting for you. But if you are the one assigning meaning, who decided what matters to you? And if your values were shaped by forces beyond your choosing, is the meaning you create truly yours? Or is it another story told by consciousness to make existence feel less silent?